Okay, so this is a video to demonstrate how to tune the guitar. First of all, you've got to explain why the guitar needs tuning in the first place, and that's because if it's not in tune, it sounds something like this, which obviously isn't very pleasant if you're trying to play something and the strings are all tuned to the wrong notes. So that moves us to the next thing, which is what notes the strings are actually tuned to. This guitar has 6 strings, and they're tuned to E, A, D, G, B, and then another E, which is higher than the first E that I mentioned. So that's E, A, D, G, B, and then another E, which is higher than the first E. So there's various ways of tuning to those notes. You can just tune to them by ear, which you probably learn to do eventually when you've been playing the guitar for a long time. You'll just learn what the tuning sounds like. But for now, the first way is to tune to a piano. So let's move over to the piano. Okay, so I mentioned before the first string of the guitar is tuned to an E. So if we listen to what an E sounds like.
If you're looking for an E on the piano, if you notice the black keys go 3 black keys, 2, 3, there's a pattern all the way up the piano. So even if you don't play the piano, you can probably see that pattern, that they're grouped in 2s and 3s. So what you want to look for is 2 black notes, and then E is just above those 2 black notes, so it's sort of a backwards L shape. So that's E. And then you turn the tuning
head. Just play that again for us, Dad. Until it's around the same note as the E that's been played with the piano. So I think we're in that situation there. Because the next note that it's tuned to is an A, so obviously it's just E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So that's an A.
So that was E, this is A.
And then the same applies. Just play that again for us. I think that's about right. Okay, and then we just move up to B flat, B, C, C sharp, D. I'm going to do the same for D.
So we've gone E, missed out 2 white keys, A, missed out 2 white keys, D. This is the 3rd string now.
Play that again. So that's about right, isn't it?
Yep.
And then the next one is G.
So you can miss out 2 white keys in G.
Around the right,
yeah,
around the right note. And the next one is B.
Now this is where it's different. If I miss out 2 white keys, I'll be on C, and that's no good. So we were on G, so I want to go A, B.
Just play that again for us, if that's okay.
And whilst you're listening to your strings, you want to make sure you're listening to see if the note's too high
or too low.
Too high or too low.
Or flat.
Okay.
And also make sure you don't tune the tuning heads too high or else the string will snap.
Yeah, and the next one. So again, you can go back to your missing 2 out. And this is another E, but a higher E than the first E.
You can also double check that by playing the first E and seeing if it sounds similar.
That sounds pretty good to me. So then what would you do then? Would you maybe play a chord?
You might then play a chord like this is a C chord. That sounds about right to me.
And then what if it was a bit out, what would you do?
You try again, you'd
go through them one at a time?
So I think that D's a little bit out there.
So you've played your chord, but you've played the strings one at a time in the chord. Just kind of see your right hand. So you play the chord, but Yeah, so you're right.
That
So
D is a little bit out. So we would check out the D.
G.
Yeah, G. Sorry.
Right. Okay. Try the chord again. Sounds pretty good. Now there are other methods of tuning, aren't there?
Yes.
Because not everyone's got a piano.
They generally involve guitar tuners. There's one on the top of my guitar, but most guitars don't have
That
that.
is a built-in tune. You just press the button. I don't know if the camera will pick that up.
So, you might be able to see, like, do you see the letter E there?
So it's saying
It's particularly sensitive. It says it's slightly sharp, so then you would move the tuning head accordingly to the arrow.
Okay. And then
There's other tuners like this one, and that works in a similar way. It's just got a dial, and there's a mic on it which picks stuff up.
and a needle.
And a needle, yeah.
And you can plug straight into that as well.
Yeah. If you had an electric guitar, that would be how that worked. Other than that, you're a bit stuck.
How often do you have to clean your? Do you have to tune your guitar?
Pretty much.
Is it enough to do it once a week?
No, you have to tune it every time you get out of the case, or else it'll go out. Even just knocking it off things, it'll go out.
And what about during a performance?
You wouldn't tune it between every song, but you would tune it a couple of times in a performance,
Right, because
just to double check to make sure you're in tune with the rest of the band. Because you might not be in tune. You might sound in tune, but you're not in tune with the pianist
because
the
those
saxophonist.
those move there, don't they? Sometimes when you're playing, if you bend the strings,
and you might just knock it, for instance, and it just goes out like that.
Okay. Just give us those notes again. What were the notes?
That's an E, and then A, and then D, and then G, and then B, and E.
Okay, thanks very much.